Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is a special edition dedicated to in-depth discussions on current issues. I'm Zeleke Gessesse, inviting you to stay with us. In this week's edition, we have Zeleke Gessesse for your dear viewers. A luminary in the world of reggae has carved out an illustrious career, leaving an indelible mark on Ethiopian reggae circles. In the early 1980s, he embarked on a journey that took him to the United States, where he had the privilege of residing in Kingston, Jamaica, alongside the family of the legendary Bob Marley, together with his brother, the talented guitarist and vocalist Zeleke Gessesse, and the late virtuoso keyboardist Dereje Mekonnen. Zeleke co-founded Dalol Band, the foremost reggae ensemble in Ethiopia. In 1985, he released his internationally celebrated album, Land of the Genesis, which resonated across borders. 10 years ago, Zeleke returned to his homeland to dedicate himself to a charitable endeavor that his family has passionately nurtured for decades, while also relocating his renowned reggae club from the vibrant streets of Chicago to the heart of Addis Ababa. Tell us a little bit about your childhood. What was your childhood like?
My childhood. My childhood was pretty active. Since I was very active in the drama club, music club, in elementary school even. And my childhood was very active. I was in Boy Scout, I was in the music club, in the drama club, in elementary school in the town of Gore in Western Ethiopia. And I was very active. I guess that's evolved into being a musician later on. Oh, when I was a kid, I was a tourist guide. The funny thing is I was very fluent in English because in Gore, our house was next to the high school. So a lot of teachers like Peace Corps, foreign Indians and Americans, Japanese even, were renting our houses. So I'm the translator for my mother to collect rent. And then I speak with these people. Honestly, when I was 5th, 6th grade, I was speaking English very fluent. So every time a tourist comes to Gore, I'm the one to be called to tell them the story of Gore. It's a historical town, very historical town, and that's where I started. Then now, after I left Ethiopia to the US, it continued promoting Ethiopia. Of course, the name of the band was Dalol, and Dalol is, as you know, is the lowest point on earth, the hottest place in the world. They keep asking us, what's Dalol? Oh, the hottest place in the world, the lowest point on earth, man, we're hot. That's how, so we start promoting. You know, in those days, there was a lot of civil war and famine and all that going on here. But Dalol performing in Chicago or Washington, it's all these beautiful old tourism posters in the background that we put up to, you know, portray a better look of Ethiopia.
Growing up, when did you figure out or decided to be a singer or a musician?
High school. I came up and when we reached high school, I started stage experience in Gore as an actor when I was like 10 or 11 years old. And then my part of that drama was singing. I mean, I was a home worker, servant, who when you tell me something to bring, I'm singing when I'm doing that kind of stuff. That was the beginning. Then when we came to Addis for high school, 9th grade, sorry. Then we formed a band with my brother, Zeleke Gessesse and Malakureta. we started a band called Dalol, the Dalol Band experience in high school, and that's when we really knew that we have it, natural gift, without a lot of education about music, by ear training, and that's when we decided, well, let's continue with the music thing while we're doing school still. And the band was really popular in those days. Imagine, ninth grade, we were like the Jackson Fives here. We play in every high school, you know, St. Joseph, St. Mary, Tafari Makonnen, Minilik University. And that's when we knew. So when we reached 10th grade, at the end of 10th grade, when we got winter vacation for the summer here, we got hired to tour Ethiopia with Gasha Yare Masfen. So that's when we knew we finally would get paid. Not only for school fame, you know. That's when we figured out we can go on with music.
What was the recording and mixing music, cinematography music like in States in comparison to that of Ethiopia? And then what can Ethiopians do better?
You know, it's interesting. Technology have made it closer now. Previously, there was not enough good cameras here, editing equipment and stuff in Ethiopia. Of course, it's beautiful here. Topography is beautiful to do anything. In fact, I even recommend in Chicago to big advertising agencies to come and shoot commercials here. It's very cheap. And then, but now technology have made it kind of the same. But honestly, it's cheaper here. It's in terms of budgeting to instead of shooting a video in the US or here, it's much cheaper here. And then it's better topography, better locations you can get here. So I like it here. I like it here, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about Dalol Band. And also you have signed a contract with the legendary singer Bob Marley, Tough Gong Band.
Okay, Dalol was formed, like I said, in high school here. And after we performed for about 2-3 years in high school, then the revolution started. And then schools started closing. You know, there was not continuous schooling in those days. So we toured Ethiopia twice as a band. That was very interesting to know our country. Every angle except Eritrea, every part, you know, there was still a little skirmish there at that time. And then, so it was hard to do Western music. We're Western music, of course. You know, we play James Brown, Stevie Wonder, Aretha Franklin, Donna Summer, and that kind of stuff. So it was hard to do that in those days during the revolution. There was a lot of, you know, killings and all that going on in the city. So we decided we wanted to continue with education. And the university was closed here. There was a Get Weberett campaign. We went on that one. It came back. And then we decided we try to go out. You can't go out legally in those days because of, if you don't finish it, Get Weberett, you don't get a passport. So because of that, we walked out of here. I don't recommend that now for any young man. We walked out of here to Djibouti. And we performed in Djibouti as Brothers Band. We changed the name for about 1 year. And then we got the chance to immigrate to the US. So when we got to the US, Dalol's first concert was at the university we were attending, Northeastern University in Chicago. And then it was a Black History Month, February. I mean, the audience was amazing. We played all kind of music, Afrobeat, Ethiopian music, and a little bit of American music. And the reception was amazing. We couldn't believe it. I mean, we were scared first, nervous, but the reception was so nice. We continued in a professional way. We rented a extra practice room and all that. And while we're doing that, by chance, we went to Los Angeles to perform for New Year's, Ethiopian New Year. And then we met Stevie Wonder at that event. One of his radio station's manager was an Ethiopian lady called Almaz, and she was an MBA. And she saw us and we're performing his songs. And she said, no, you gotta meet him. So we met him, he coached us, he told us what to do to make a deal and get a contract and all that. Exactly how he told us, he advised us, we did it. And then that product we did reached the Rita Marley, the Bob Marley's family. And then our life changed. We got signed to Tough Gang, and we went to Jamaica, and we kept going in and out because we have still school in Chicago, in and out for 2 years, and then we produced the Land of the Genesis album. That's it. We went to the Grammy-winning venture with the Marley Children. What it is was Bob Marley's dream was to perform with Ethiopian musicians, and he never made it, you know. And when she found out Dalol band, the picture was barefoot, the traditional Ethiopian clothing, on a tree. That's what we took the show from Africa. And she was fascinated. And then she invited us to Jamaica to perform on Bob Marley's birthday after he passed away, second year. And that was it. She said, no, you guys have to be signed to my company, and I want the children to grow up with your surrounding. They want to learn Ethiopian culture, so it did work perfectly. 4 years later, we toured the world. We did 2 albums. We sold millions of albums, and we won 2 Grammys with them. The first Ethiopian, the first African. That's the story of Dalol.
ማን ነበረ አይዳል ሞከረ ማንም አላገኘሽ እንደተመኘሽ ፍቅርሽ ሲገረዳ ለንኩሽ ባዳ መጣ ሁሉን ዞሬ ወደ ሀገሬ 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 ኢትዮጵያ ሀገሬ መግቢያዬ ዞሬ
Sail Along the Nile is one of the songs you produced with Dalol Band. What can you tell us about in relation to bringing African unity related to art in this time and day?
Good research, very good research. That was my song too. River Nile, okay, now, okay, you know, we have the dam now on the River Nile. And then what we were saying at that time was, why not we unite and make the Nile beneficiary for all the countries? When we unite and do it. And then, you know, the African politics at that time was Cold War, you know, Soviet Union and America and and we're fighting, and it's a lot of war. So it says, you know, what's wrong with the high ranking today? They're running east and west to buy ideology. Why not we try our own polity? Which is, Ethiopia is the oldest republic in the world, and then if we really dig into, we don't need ideologies to come from outside. We can build our own, and this is almost 35-40 years ago. Sail Along the River Nile had 2 meanings: is about African unity, about using the Nile River for good of the people, because we don't have light and there was starvation and all that stuff, and then talking about the politics. Let's create our own ideology rather than going and bring in foreign ideologies and killing one another for it.
What was Christmas like in the States? Ethiopians, how do they celebrate the Ethiopian diaspora residing across the globe?
Yeah. Well, you know, everybody asks me here, oh, you celebrate 2 holidays. Yeah, well, we benefit. Any holiday is a holiday, okay? So anyway, in the States, it's a time of get-together, honestly, because life there is very busy. You know, every person is, every family even to meet together is very rare. So holidays, Christmas especially, is a good time because it's cold there. Most of the U.S. where I was, it's really cold. So we travel, they come from out of state and stuff. But one thing is, the holiday, for example, Christmas is on Tuesday here. Because everybody works, the holidays are celebrated on weekends. Okay, so we shifted to Saturday. So, or the one after or before. That's how it's celebrated. It's celebrated really big because churches are strong, and that's where really families with their children and everybody come together to get to their culture. You know, it's high speed there. Life is so fast. That's a time of calmness, honestly, for me and my kids and my family. It was like that. So holidays are holidays, you know. It brings them together, brings us together. The only thing is sometimes we don't get it. If it's on weekday, we have to shift to weekend because of work. Because not everybody can, if it's Ethiopian Christmas, it's not official there, so everybody's working. So we'll make it on a weekend.
In relation to this, what your wish to the coming Ethiopian Christmas? Can you?
My wish is peace for Ethiopia. It's the biggest issue now that we need peace. There is a lot of hope, and there is a lot of in our horizon. I see big things coming for this country. I've said it before too. There is momentum in the world that goes around, momentum. And this momentum now, it was in Eastern Europe, South Asia, South America, everywhere. Now it's Africa. And Ethiopia leads Africa in many ways, in liberation, in history, and everything. I think if we, God willing, if we can pass this moment in peace, and now we have the dialogue coming up, the Dialogue Commission, which I support 100%. With that, if we resolve some of the long-term problems of Ethiopia, I think there will be a long-term of peace and prosperity coming into Ethiopia, because we have a big young generation. 60 million is under 30. That's bigger than many countries in Africa population. So this, if we manage to create jobs for this generation, honestly, it will be a big, you know, China and India, they rose up economically because of the demographic. They have a lot of young working generation. So I see hope, and I wish hope and peace for Ethiopia.
What should Ethiopians do in coming together in unison for mutual benefit, do you think?
Unity. Unity. I've been singing about peace, love, unity, understanding the last 40 years. Most of my albums I have on Ethiopia, I sing about in Africa. What we need to do is sit down and talk. I think we've seen all kind of, we've tried all kind of struggle formats, but we haven't tried dialogue, reasoning. And we do have a good amount of educated generation in Ethiopia, and then I think if we discuss, if we sit down calmly and discuss, we can pull out the problems that are, you know, in the constitution, in the cultural setting, and all that. So if that is needed. So to create unity, we need to reason, to talk in, not like I win you, you win over me, but how can we all win? And I think with this Dialogue Commission, my wish and my hope is we will solve some of the problem. Mostly is in the Constitution, which is to be reformed. You know, we don't have to change, but to reform it. Many countries have reformed, even the U.S., have reformed their constitution in different times. So if we do that, then with this young generation, with this young energy, it's all about economy. So the economy grows up. The private sector is doing very, very actively now. And there is hope with that too. Unity is key.
What can Ethiopians residing across the globe do to promote Ethiopia to the world?
Yes. Every Ethiopian loves Ethiopia. It's in him. Everywhere you go. But it's how to portray it is a different, we all go our own ways. What I always say I was just there two months ago, I tell my brothers and sisters in the diaspora is, parties come, parties go, politics change, but Ethiopia is always there, okay? Your country is your mother, and don't be emotional. Always look at what you can do for your country and for your people. Sometimes, because of the political changes and movements and stuff, the diaspora gets emotional. Because they're far away and they're always connected to Ethiopia, they're emotional. I do have an association here, Addis Ababa Diaspora Association. What we're trying to do is to build the bridge to kind of create a good public relation to the diaspora. What good things we see here as returnees. So every Ethiopian loves Ethiopia, so promote Ethiopia positively despite what.
Let's now turn our attention to diaspora engagement. How are public diplomacy initiatives lending a hand in this regard? What are other urgent mechanisms are needed to spark of more vigorous diaspora engagement in the affairs of the nation?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I think the government have to do more promotion towards the diaspora. The good things that have to be, not political promotion, but the good things that are being done, and hope and investment opportunities there is they need to engage. I think there is a little change now. The diaspora agency that was here under the foreign ministry is they're dispatching their diplomats in every country to have a diaspora desk in each embassies, which is good. The public relation need to be done a lot more, which I always say that, because the Ethiopians are busy. I mean, they work hard there for life. It's not easy. 2 jobs, 3 jobs and stuff. So they need to be informed than getting information from social media alone. There should be a public relation engagement from the government to the diaspora in a big way. And I'm campaigning on that for them to do something more, to do more.
Band Aid has just celebrated the 40th anniversary, Do They Know It's Christmas, single of theirs. In comparison, what was Ethiopia like back then and what has changed? What would you like to say to the world?
Oh, well, it's pretty different. We do have problems. Everybody got problems. Ethiopia still have problems. We have displaced people, in every region and stuff. But we don't have famine. There is hunger. There might be hunger in some of these displaced areas, but it's nothing like the 40 years ago. I was here. I in fact did a benefit concert for Wello famine, Wello drought, the first one. In fact, Dirk didn't want us to perform because it's American music. It was sad. But the footage they used, I know these people, okay? I know Bono, I know Bob Geldof, and all of them. In fact, my brother Zeleke Gessesse is in New York now, and me and him talked about it to talk to Mr. Chris Blackwell. Mr. Chris Blackwell is Bob Marley's producer. He produced all of them to kind of maybe take out that. They have concentration camp in Koram in those days, and it's really, really bad. It's in this clip if you've seen it. And then they opened the concert with the clip with that, which is not really right because it's different now. What I told them I wrote to them is, and the Bob Marley children, but Band-Aid have helped Ethiopia then, right? And they do come, not often, but they come and visit Ethiopia. So they could have used, their contribution have helped Ethiopia a little bit, and then and now kind of comparison, footage into it, But what is happening is it became a company now. It's a for-profit company. It's called 8 Mile. So they are worth about $400 million or something. Big company, for-profit, investment. And then every 10 years they bring this thing up because it was created because of Ethiopia's famine. They rejuvenate their company's income and stuff. So that's not really fair to do it. I mean, we do have a problem. We would take any assistance that is needed, but we're not the condition we are in 40 years ago. Because right now we need FDI, foreign investment, and then there is changes in agriculture. I travel the country quite often, around the country. And then 20 years ago, or 25 years ago when I traveled, all the village houses were huts, sarvet, made of straw. Today it's metal, korkorovet. So that's small economic growth for the population. 80 million is a farmer in Ethiopia. So there is change, we're not there yet, perfect. No place is perfect, but it wasn't fair that they used the 40 years ago footage in this clip. So what we were recommending was at least take out that one and put something comparison then and now or something, because they've helped at that time. So I think hopefully we're trying to send a message to them through people we know in the industry that it's about enough time now, close the chapter of famine and then investment. They can invest, They've bought some shares here in Awash Winery about 15 years ago, I think. Very small amount. Just to say they've invested in Ethiopia. But they can continue doing that rather than using this to rejuvenate their company's image and gain more money.
Zeleke Gessesse, the renowned singer, we do appreciate your time for availing yourself for this interview. Thank you so very much, sir.
Well, I wish everyone Malcolm Ganna and peaceful Ethiopia. I hope we'll resolve our problems in this coming New Year, in the European New Year, and continue in our journey of, making this place a better place.
Ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of our edition. Thank you so very much for staying with us. I'm Zeleke with the whole technical crew. Bye-bye.